So I'm gonna jump into ClickFunnels, and I'm just gonna have some fun with this for a little bit because I want you guys to understand how to use it. Because as soon as you guys learn how to use this, I literally, it is so much power in your hands. Now, one thing I want to recommend you guys also that I want you guys to become very familiar with and learn how to use is my team for your stuff. So there's gonna be things I'm not able to answer live on the webinar, and if you can't use it, there's a little but if you get stuck, there's a little question here, this little help box. Click on that, it'll come up. You can ask our support questions here and they'll help you. You can browse articles, but we have I believe honestly the best support team in the industry running this help desk and everything. So if you have any questions or you can't figure things out, ask a support ticket or run through our articles. Right now they're in the process of making videos and articles for everything you can dream of so that you'll have access to those as well. You know, if you get stuck on a page, you can take a screenshot of what's happening and but definitely use our support. They're there for you. They're here to help make sure that your process is good. You know, and as you know, as of right now, ClickFunnels has literally been live for maybe a month and a half or so. And so because of that, we're a young company, there's still going to be little issues and little bugs that pop up every now and then. And so first off, I ask you just to be patient with us as we're getting those things. You know, look at other companies we're competing against. They've been around for two or 3 years and they only do opt-in funnels and they still have bugs. Whereas we're pretty dang rock solid. We do 10 times as much as anybody else. But every once in a while, a little thing creeps up. So if you do find something like that, just be patient with us. Click on the help, let us know. And our turnaround time has been very, very quick on most of these things, getting the bugs out. So anyway, that's kind of, just want to preface that. All right, so here is everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and again, I'm not going to talk about how to build each of these pages because that's what we're going to be focusing on in each individual training. Like last week, we really focused on opt-in funnels. I mostly want to train you guys on how to do the editor. So I'm going to just create a quick fake funnel for you guys. I'm going to teach you guys how to become masters of this editor because it's so much fun after you learn how to do it. Okay. So this is how it works. I got my opt-in page, my thank you page. Those are the 2 pages in this funnel, very simple. And then the other thing, there's things you have to set up, right? You have to set up your autoresponder and things like that. All that happens under my account and settings. If you go there, you're able to set up all those type of things. So you usually do that initially when you first get started in ClickFunnels. So if you haven't done that yet, go into settings. Of course, when I'm live, the CSS isn't going to load. There we go. So like your account settings, you got your subscription billing here. If you're using SMTP, you can add it to here. And if you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. It's not important. If you have an autoresponder, you can add them in here. If you're using payment, if you're using Infusionsoft or Stripe or Warrior Plus, any of these different systems, you can set up your payment things in here. If you want to set up a custom domain, so if you want, like for me, I've got clickfunnel.com, listhacking.com, all these different websites that's like, if you go to any of them, it looks like you can't tell ClickFunnels is there. It's a custom domain. So if you want your website.com, when someone goes there to have the ClickFunnels pages load, even though it's your own website, you do that through custom domains. And again, for me, the first time it took me a while to understand it. So we have instructions here how to do it. But if you get stuck, click on the help tab, and we got the team to help you with that. Digital assets if you want email, videos, and stuff like that. So that's all there inside of this the account settings tab. So that's one thing you typically do need to set up. All right, so let me come into the editor. So there's a bunch of pages here, but what I'm going to do right now, because you know, I can show you how to edit a page, but that's pretty self-explanatory. Instead, what I want to do is I'm going to take a page, I'm going to delete everything and start over so you can see what it's like. Because for me, like I traditionally don't even use the templates anymore. You can use them, but you don't have to. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to pick this one right here. All right. Okay. So here's after you pick the thing. Now it's cool. You see the visitors, conversion rate, leads. You can set up split tests in here, which is cool. You can set up emails to go out. And again, those are all things that we'll cover in more detail in the other trainings. But just so you know, and so make sure you guys play with that. You also have like your squeeze pops here, instant opt-in. You can clone this page, a bunch of other things you can do. So right now, again, though, we're focusing on the editor. That's what I want to show you guys today for the most part. Okay, so again, this is the part you have to understand, and for those of you guys who aren't technical like I wasn't, it took me a little bit to get it because I just didn't really get it at first, but after I got it, it made total sense. So if you look at this page, every single page, there are basically 3 core things, right? The first you have are sections. If you click on the right-hand side over here, it says sections. If you click on that, it'll show all your sections, and if I scroll over, it'll show me what all the sections are. So I've got video section, opt-in bar, so I can see all my sections. Okay, now the other way I can see sections, if I hover over something, I look for it, and if it's outlined in green, do you see the green right there? That is a section. So I know that this is a section right here. This green here, there's a section right here. It's green. So if it's green, it's a section. Okay. So that's the first thing to understand. So typically, first you create a section. Then inside of the section, the second thing you add is rows. So if I click here on rows, I'll see here's all the rows inside of each section. Okay, so there's a column row here, there's 3 column row here, 1 column row here. Now if I hover over here and it's blue, blue is a row. Okay, over here if it's blue, it's a row. If it's blue, it's a row. So first I build out a section, then I have to add the rows into each section. And then the last one here on the right hand side, section rows. Oh, there's columns as well, which you can see the columns here. And then the last one is elements. So elements are all the things inside of it. So if you click on elements, you'll see all those right here. You can't see each individual one. And if I hover over it, if it's orange, then that's an element. Okay, so there's a headline element. There's a video element. Does that make sense? So if I'm building this, I start with like my section. So I have a top section, middle section, bottom section, right? Then in there, I add a row. And inside the row, I add my elements. Okay, and as soon as you understand that, everything gets really clear. And so if I go here, this yellow here, so here's a yellow element, or orange. And if I want to, I have a plus button where I can add another element, or if there's this little gear. If I click on this gear, it'll show me all the settings for that element. So if I know this headline, this headline right here, if I want to change it, I just click on the little gear. It shows me all the settings for that one. I can change the margins, the padding, the color, the text size, all the things I want right here inside of that. Same if I want to edit the row elements, I click on the blue and I click on the little blue gear, and here's all the things I can edit for the blue one. Does that make sense? And same thing for the section. I can go to section, click on the little hover on the little gear, and here's everything I can edit for that section. Okay. And then again, the other two things is if I hover over, there's this little thing that's got two little pieces of paper. If I click on that, it clones it. So now I got the headline again. So if I want to do that, so I'll delete it now. I can clone it if I want. Next thing is there's a little plus. So if I hover over the plus, I click on that, it'll pop up an element table, and here's all the different elements I can add to that page. I can add a pricing table, an FAQ block, custom HTML, Facebook comments, social shares, all these different things I can add here. So let's say I'm right here. Let's just say that I delete this video accidentally. I'm like, oh, I want a video underneath there. I just hover over it, click on the little plus, find video, click on that, double click on it, and boom, now the video is back. Okay, does that make sense so far, you guys? All right, Dane said, wow, so easy. Yeah, so as soon as you guys understand that's kind of the core concept, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start over from scratch. I'm just gonna delete all these different rows and sections, because this is how I like to do it. Now that I understand it, and kind of build out different sections. And you don't have to, you can just edit your stuff or add different things if you want, or you can just start over from scratch. Okay, so here's I got a blank template right now, right? This is there's nothing here. So first I got my section right here. This is the section it gives you by default. So notice the section only goes to the sides, and I don't really like that. So I'm gonna click here on the gear. It's giving me a whole bunch of options. The first is width. So right now it's on medium width. So if I go full page width, it'll take the whole page up. Wide, I can go medium, I can go small. So for me, I like doing full page. I have the background color. I'm gonna change the background from, so here's the color palette, so I can drag it around and change the color whatever I want. But then down here shows if it's invisible or not. So right now it's kind of invisible. So I'm gonna go all the way here in white. Check it out. Now my top section's all white. I can add a background image if I want. I can make my margins. I can do a bunch of stuff like that. So there it is. Now I got my top block. That's just this white thing. Now I'm gonna add a row in here. And so I can decide what I want to do. So I think for this example, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna do like a video on the left-hand side, then an opt-in box on the right-hand side. So I'm gonna pick a right column sidebar where there's 2/3 on the left-hand side and 1/3 on the right-hand side. So I click that, and boom, now I've got it's kind of broken up where this side's got 2/3 of the page, this side's got 1/3. And I can do all sorts of stuff. I can do 4 columns if I want that. I can do 2 columns. Like pretty much, there's a bunch of different options you can pick from, or even 1 column block. I'm gonna delete all these though, because for this one I want to do that way. Okay, now on this left-hand side, I'm gonna click on Add New Element. I want to add a video. There's a video. Now, if I want to change the video settings, again, I hover over. I see the little gear. Click on that. I can change it. So let's say I want to say that video is too big. Let me see. Where are we at? Okay, down here. So video width. So at full width, so I can do 3/4 width if I want smaller, half width. Just gonna pick that. So I'm on it big. So I'm gonna do full width video here. I can embed the video. Like let's say it's a YouTube video. I click right here on pick a YouTube video. So I'm actually gonna let me do this. I'm gonna go to youtube.com. Let's do a President Obama. I won't comment on politics because I don't want to get in a fight with anybody. But we're making an Obama landing page. How's that sound? Okay. So I pick YouTube video here. I plug in my YouTube URL. I can make it autoplay if I want. Now I got this video right here. So if I save the page and I preview it, let me show you guys what it looks like so far. So there's our page. We got Obama hanging out with us.
My fellow Americans.
Okay, so there's the page so far. Now, so I got my video. Now let's say I want an opt-in block over here, something like that. So I got some of my things I can do. So I'm gonna add an element, probably add a headline at first. So I'll say something like, give me your best email address for some wicked, awesome stuff. Okay, so make it bold, but it's kind of too big. So I might mouse over and I look at the little gear, click on that. If I want, I can shrink the text size to like that better. So there's this. I'm gonna click on elements. I'm gonna add an image. So I'll click on image here. And I click on this little image block and it takes me over here. It says image URL. So there's a little plus sign. So I'm gonna click on that plus sign. And over here, you see here's all the images I've uploaded to my account. So I have tons of images here. So if you have images you want to put, you can put it in there, or you can come over here to stock images and there's a bunch of default ones in here, or there's icon finder. I wonder if they have anything like, so icon finder, there's a free service in here where you can search and it'll try to find icons on something. Okay, okay, so there's, oh cool. So I typed in president and there's a free president looking icon. So I'm gonna click on that and it's gonna add it to my account. Now, I don't know if I would really do this if I was designing a site, but there you go. Now I've got this little president here, right? So there's my icon. Now, one thing I'm kind of picky on, see how close like the head is to this underneath it? Kind of drives me crazy. I like having a little space. So I'm gonna come back here to the image, click on the little gear, and make my margin a little bit bigger. So then, oh, there, much better. So he gives a little space underneath his head. So there you got my headline. I got a picture of the president. Then I need to add my opt-in forms. Click on that, and I gotta find input form. There you go. I want a little more space though, so I'm gonna get a little more space. And then enter your info here. I'm gonna have enter your email address here. Okay, so I got that form there. Now I need to add a button. So when they give me their button, or when they click on it, so there's my button. And notice, see again, it's right on top of it. I don't like that. So I click on this right here and I click on the gear. I give myself a little bit of a margin. Oh, much better. Give me the phone number. So there's my call to action, right? Give me the president's phone number. Now the button's kind of weird looking. So what else can I do? I can add subtext if I want. So yes, I will really get it for you. So there's the text now. Again, I can change the size of the button. So let's say I want a small button, or let's say I want a huge button. You can make it look any size you want. So I'm probably gonna do extra small for that one. That looks kind of cool. I can change the width. I can do some styling. I can do a bunch of stuff. But one of my favorites is icon. I love doing icons. So I'm gonna click on icon here, and I can make like a little right arrow. I can do a down arrow, or I can do a bunch of stuff. So I can do a checkbox, shopping cart. So I like doing the arrow or the chevron. I like those. Okay. So now I've got a little page, right? So let me save it again. I'll preview it, and we're getting closer to now having a cool page, right? There's a video with an opt-in block over there. Okay, so what else can I do? Let's say that I want this block to like have some coloring behind it. So what I'm gonna do, and this one's a little harder because like I can't just click on something to get this the column just by hovering over it, you know. So I have to actually come over here to the right hand side. It says columns. I click on that, and it'll show me all the columns. So left hand column, right hand column. Now if I click on that, it'll go and show me all the settings for there. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the background color so there's something behind that. So I'm just gonna make it black, but then make it, maybe I'll go really dark. Okay, that looks kind of cool. I need some padding on top and some padding on bottom. Maybe a little bit on the sides. That looks a little better. Move that down a little on the page. Radius is if I want the edges rounded, so I can make it. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's cool. More rounded edges. I can do a border if I want. All right, that's kind of cool. Cool, I like that. The only thing I don't like is the headline now is black and doesn't look that good. So I'm gonna hover over it, click on the little gear. Now I'll change the text color from black to maybe white. Oh yeah, that looks cool. Okay, I'm gonna save that. And let me preview this page again, and we'll see what it looks like. Yeah, that's looking cool, right? All right, so I got the page right there. So what else do I want to do? So let's say I want a headline up above. So unfortunately, there's not a plus sign on top of it. So I'm gonna go underneath here. I click on the plus. I'm gonna add a 1-column block for my headline. So now there's a new element, but I want the element above it, right? So I'm gonna do is I come over here to the side, and there's two ways. One you can do is you can grab it, drag it, and drop it up. But I like doing this as well. I'll come over here to the rows. I click on it, and it'll show me all the different rows, right? Highlight them over. If you look over here, there's this little arrow. If I grab the arrow, I can drag that right to the top, and boom, now that element's on top. If I move it back down, I can just grab it. Now it's stacked down below. Now it's back up on top. Okay, so I have an element here. I'm gonna click on that. I'm gonna change the headline. So I can change the headline. Do you want Obama's phone number? Okay, so there's my headline. But I want to make that bigger. So I click on the little gear and make the size huge over here. Even bigger. Even bigger. How big can we go? Yeah, that looks cool. So now I got who here wants President Obama's phone number. I can save that. All right. Is this cool, you guys? You having fun so far? Someone said that they want. Yeah, I love your guys' feedback. This is cool. All right, cool. Someone said, can I make the edges around the video rounded? I have no idea. Let's try. I don't think you can, but I've never tried before. No, it doesn't look like you can. Okay, a couple other cool things you can do, like let's say I wanted to add like an order button underneath this, right? Now I obviously wouldn't because I'm not going to add an order button here, but just so you can see the concept. So let's say I have my add new elements button here. I add a button. Now I've got a button here, right? Buy the entire White House for just $50 here. All right, I'm going to make, so there's that. My subtext can be like, oh yeah, just $50 for the whole thing. Okay, so there's my sub headline. And then I come down here, I'm going to add, I love doing the icons. I'm going to add my little arrow to the right. So now I got my call to action, right? So there's my button. But maybe I don't want this button to show up until President Obama drops the bomb about how cool something is, right? So I come back here to this button, I can hover over it. If you scroll down here, there's two cool things. One is called time delays. One is called animations. Okay, so I'll show you the animation first. So let's say it's animation. I can say on page load. Have this. Let's see. Have this fade from the top at 500 milliseconds. Okay, so I'm going to save this. Now when I refresh this page over here, watch what happens to the button because it's going to like magically appear. Okay. Boom. See the button drop down. So you can animate all your buttons. You can have the video drop down. You can have, like, I can literally come in here and let's come to video. And if I want to make this animation, I can have it animation where it fades from the left. I can have this. Yeah. So let me show you what this looks like. So now I can refresh this. Now the video should pop in from the left and the button should come in from the bottom. Yeah. So you can do stuff like that if you want. You can have different animation. You can have it so when you're on the page and you scroll down. Like, for example, if you saw how we did on, let me pull up Clickfunnels.com. So if you look at Clickfunnels.com, one of the cool things we did is you can have the animations come in while you're scrolling. So, okay, so as I scroll down, watch things will start flying in while I scroll down. Boom, that flew in. Okay, so you can set it to fly it as you scroll, which is kind of cool if you want those kind of cool things to happen. So that's how you do the animation stuff. It's kind of fun. The other one, though, that I personally like better, I'm not a big animation fan. So I'm going to Get rid of that animation here. And down here, I'm gonna get rid of the animation as well. But what I do like personally is I like this whole, it says time delayed. So I can say, have this button fade in, but don't have it fade in until the 1 minute mark, right? Or I have it fade in at like the 15-second mark, right? So typically you use that. Let's say you have a sales video and you don't want the order button to appear until you reveal the price. You can push that out. So say, okay, have this order button appear, but not until whenever that, for 16 minutes and 22 seconds. So I'll just do 15 seconds here. I'll push play. I'll come back to the page. I refresh it, and you'll see 15 seconds from now, the button should appear.
My fellow Americans, tonight I'd like to talk with you about immigration. For more than 200 years.
It's been 15. There you go. 15 seconds now. The button popped up. Is that awesome, you guys? Do you like that so far? Okay, so there's that. So they're not. I got this page, which is pretty cool, right? So I'm going to delete this button because I don't want this right now. But let's say you want one of those cool ones where the background's got a picture, right? So I'm going to hover over here. Again, this is going to be for the section, right? So the section is green. Click on the little green button here. And then come here to background image. Click on background image. I can go try to find a really cool picture. So, and again, if you have a picture, you can upload it or whatever. I'm going to see if I have one already uploaded. I can just use. Oh, here's the one for Clickfunnels. So if I want, there's the background for Clickfunnels. Now that's my background on my webpage. All of a sudden, refresh it and check it out. I spelled a bomber wrong. Doesn't that page look awesome now? Anyway, so now I got a really cool looking page. Okay, it's pretty simple and pretty easy. All right, so the next thing I can do is to come down here, and I've got this is all happening in one section. So maybe I want to add another section. So I'm gonna click right here. I'm gonna click this little plus button. It'll create a new section. And notice by default it's kind of small. So I'm gonna click on this this little gear, and instead of making it small, I'm gonna make it full page. I like the full page better. And maybe I want borders on the top and the bottom. So click on borders, top and bottom border. Now I've got kind of a border here, you can see. And maybe I want this background to be different. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to make the background color maybe more, ooh, that's kind of cool. Maybe like a bluish, a little bit lighter though. That's kind of cool. In fact, I like that blue a lot. So if I like this blue, I can click on it. And here's the number code for that. So I'm going to copy this. And then come back here to my button. I want the button to be the same color as the other blue. So I click on that, and I change the button color. Just going to paste that over. Now that button's the same color as down here. Of course, I might want to make the text more black now if it's going to be. There you go. Cool. All right, so I got this block down here, and then I can do whatever I want down here. Let's say I want to do a 3-column block. Maybe the first column here. So I got a 3-column block now. So maybe I'm going to push first element. I'm going to add an image here. I click on the image and look at all my images. What images do I have that'd be cool? So it could be a testimonial. So for one of mine, I've got like a Tony Robbins testimonial. So maybe I'll plug that in, or actually I'll do this. This will be, well, let's see what I got. What can I make this cool? I'll use Simon. So here's Simon's head. So I'll plug Simon's head in here, and it's huge, right? It doesn't look that good. So I click on this. I click on this little gear. Okay, what elements do I have? Well, I can turn this into a circle. Yeah, that's cool. That looks better. But it's kind of big. So let me shrink the image width. So maybe I'll make it 200. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe I'll make it a little smaller. Maybe make it 150. Okay, let's see. What else? What other options? Oh, border. I'm going to add like a border. Oh, sweet. That looks awesome. So I got a border here with Simon. So maybe I can add a little headline. So I'll add a little plus. And then I can drag this and move it above Simon's head and say, Simon got his phone. If I can type right. So Simon's got his phone number. So I click on that. And click on the editor. I'll make that a little smaller. All right, cool. Oh, I don't like how his head's right underneath it. So I'm going to go click on his head. Let's give it a little bit of a top margin here. Oh, that looks cool. Okay, so I'm going to add my next picture in here. I'm going to add another image. Is this fun for you guys? Like this literally, this is why I can't sleep at night. All I want to do is build funnels. Like I feel so awesome. Because Liz's picture, it's too big though. So I'm going to click on the little gear. I'm going to make it circle. I'm going to add a little border to it. I'm going to shrink hers down to 150. Okay, cool. I'm going to take this little headline here. I'm going to clone it. So now there's 2 of them. I can drag it and drop it over here. Liz got his phone number. Clone it again, drag it over here. Click on the plus so I can add another image. Who else's picture do I have? That'd be cool. We'll add Stanzik's. We'll add Mike's here. Radius, so circle, border, and image width 150. Cool. Need that little padding up here, top of his head. Same with Liz's. All right, now I got my testimonials underneath there. Now, one thing is there's tons of space here. I don't like all the space on top and bottom. So I'm not sure if it's on the blue or I think it's on the green. So I'm gonna click on the little green gear. Yeah, it shows me there's 40 pixels on top and 40 pixels on bottom, which is way too big. So I'm gonna shrink it down to like 50. Oh yeah, that looks way better. Take down 0. Okay, cool. That looks way better. So I'm gonna save that. Now if I refresh this page, what does it look like? All right, cool. So now we've got Obama coming in, opted for his email or his phone number. Here's testimonials of other people that got his phone number already. It's turned into a cool page, right? Can you guys see how I do this though? Like it literally, you guys can kind of build however you want. Okay, someone asked how does the pop-up feature work? Cool, I'll show you that. So let's say for example you want to kill this, right? So I want to get rid of this email field. I want them to, when they click on this button, to have a pop-up come up. So I have that. And down here in the left-hand corner says show pop-up. If I click on that, it shows what's going to pop up. So I can do the same thing here. Is I start creating it. So I create a row. So I'm going to do 2-column block, let's say. Left-hand side, I'm going to add an image. Let's see, do I have any Obama images? No, but I'll do this presidential one. Right-hand side, I can come and add a headline. Obama's phone number. Free today. Okay, I'm going to make that bold. I'm going to shrink it down. Add in right here my input form. Click on this. Add my little button here. Send me the phone number. So that way you can do like a 2-step opt-in if you wanted. So there you go. And same thing, I can add background images. There's a ton of other things you can do on the pop-up. That's just kind of how it works. I can edit it real quick in there. And then if you want pop-up settings, underneath the pop-up, there's a little button that says edit pop-up settings. Click on that and open up all these things for the pop-up. So all the margins. So I can shrink the top margin if I want. Bottom margin, left and right. I can squeeze it in or shrink it out. I can show how far I want to pop up. So if I want higher on the page when it pops up or lower on the page, you can tweak that around as well. Probably put it right in the middle-ish. And yeah, that's how that part works too. And there you go. Now my pop-up's in place. Now if I do a pop-up, if I want when I click on this button for that thing to pop up, I got to click back here on the button and come over here to URL actions and see this little tic-tac-toe sign. I'm not sure if you can see it. If I click on that, it'll give me a bunch of options. So I want to open pop-up. If I click on that, now it'll open the pop-up. So I come back and I save it now. And I refresh this page here. Now you notice when I click on this right here, boom, there goes the pop-up. It's ready to get my name and email. Isn't that awesome, you guys? Like I feel like a ninja. Like this would have taken me literally probably a week to get one of the designers to do this. And it would have been like, no, change it. No, do a different background. No, that one's ugly. Do something different. Well, now I literally go here and just play with it, and it just turns out really, really cool. Okay, so let's see what else. What else is important to show you guys? And again, I can keep adding more sections down here if I want. You can keep making it as long as you want. But it just kind of depends on you. Now, there's a lot of cool things we're adding as well in the very near future, just so you guys know. One of the big ones is let's say down here is going to be your footer link, right? So you have like your You have like your terms of service and all those things that you know are gonna be the same on every one of your website. Service, a privacy policy, all those kind of things. So this is not in there right now, but in the near future, one of the things we're trying to do is making it where you can take a section like this and you can save it. And then you can go back to any of your other pages and you'll have a section that's like, here's all your saved sections. You can say, okay, here's my footer section, boom, and you can drop it and it'll just copy on this page. Or let's say you really like this bar right here, you can save it and then you can use it on any of the other pages really quick and easy. That's not done yet, but that's one of the big features that's coming up soon. So anyway, there's fun stuff, you guys, happening. Every time I log into ClickFunnels, there's like 5 or 6 new features that I didn't even know that our guys were building out, that it shows up. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Let's give it a little subtle shadow. I should spell Obama right, huh? All right, there you go. Now, a couple other things to know. So the other things is, if you notice right here, if you look at the page, I don't know if you can tell, at the very top says my awesome landing page. That's like the default page information. So you want to come over here to settings, click on settings. And I usually go through and try to edit all these things if I can. So meta tag settings, so it's my page title. So I'll call it Obama's phone number. Page description. Yes, you're getting his number for free. Page keywords, Obama phone number. Page author, Russell Brunson. A social share image. This is if somebody was to take this page and share it on Facebook, what image would pop up? So you can choose what you want that to be. So you click on here and then choose whatever image. So maybe I want this one to show up. So now when somebody shares this on Facebook or on Twitter, that image I just picked will show up here. So that's what that is right here. Then you got digital assets. I'm not using that. Background settings. If you want to put in like your tracking codes, your Facebook pixels, or Google Analytics, you can add those here. If you want to customize the CSS, I don't know how to do this, but my designers sometimes they need to tweak things, so you can do custom CSS in here for the more advanced guys. You have that. There's that. Next is your email, and again, we'll talk about this more in like the landing page video or the opt-in funnels and others. But here's where you go and you add your email, so you can add your Aweber. Let's say I added Aweber, right? It'll pull my Aweber account. It'll show me all the different things. So I'm gonna say integrate here. Select the list, so I can say, okay, when they join me, add them to this list. Now, boom. Now, anytime someone joins my list, it automatically adds them to this Aweber list, which is kind of cool. The other cool thing, if you look down here on the bottom right-hand side, there's this little orange button that shows you things that you may have forgotten or things that you're missing. So if I click on that, it says, it says helpful page reminders. Opt-in form button is missing. Your page has input fields, but no button to submit the form. All right, cool. So there's an error. So I knew that error was there. So what happens is right here, remember I added this form and I had this button, but I didn't tell this button what to do. So I need to click on this little gear, come over here to this little URL action. I click on that and say, when someone clicks on this, what do you want to do? Open a pop-up, scroll the footer. I want it to submit the form. Click on that, and now my little thing is gone. That means my page is finished and it's ready to rock and roll. All right, you guys. And so there you go. That's how you use the ClickFunnels editor. So that's pretty good overview. Obviously, there's more things you can play with and try out, but hopefully that gives you guys the ability now to go in there and start creating things and creating the sections and the rows and then the elements and then editing all the pieces of it. And I hope that clears things up for those who have been kind of stuck or nervous or worried about it. So so just go in there, you guys, this weekend and play with it. Have some fun with it. Like I honestly, I've told you guys this before, but at nights my wife will fall asleep and I sneak out, I grab my laptop and I start playing with this again because I have so much fun just making up pages. I can have a crazy idea at 2 a.m. and by the time my wife and my team is awake, the whole entire sales funnel can be done and we can start launching it, which is I'd never been able to do that ever. And now I can, which is why I'm so in love with ClickFunnels. All right. So usually if you click exit and this pops up, it means you didn't save something. So I'm going to stay on the page. I'm going to save it again. Did I exit? Yeah, this time it didn't do anything. So if that does pop up, it means you probably didn't save anything. So make sure you just double save. All right. You guys impressed with my website design skills? This is coming from a non-techie. All right, but there you go.